Couple easy ones to start, and then I have a. It's not hard, but it's a new one. Um, so let's good morning to everyone that's streaming with us. Just went live, so we're gonna get started right now. If you guys got a practice pad or your drum kit, you want to jump on with us, yeah, have at it. Let's do 8 and 8 equals 16, but let's do the triplet version. So I'll explain. Eighth note triplets. So left on each hand for one measure, and then 16th note triplets with both hands. All right, that's it. If you guys want to do the ostinato thing, of course, it's always welcome. We'll start off at let's just start off at 90. All right, so eighth note triplets, 16th note triplets. 8 and 8 equals 16. 8, kind of. All right, here we go. Let me get a timer. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Hey. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready. Nice full strokes. Come on, emails. Halfway. Last one. All right, let's go. Left hand lead. Left hand lead. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Getting behind. Halfway. Two more. Last one. All right, nice. Not too hard to start. Coffee. I keep doing this thing, man, where I'm really into cycling, like riding bicycles, and keep doing this thing where I'll start a bike ride like too late, like super late. So I started my ride yesterday at about 7 p.m. and got back to my house about like 9. I normally start like winding down at like 9:30 and going to bed, and I was like eating a huge bowl of pasta at like 9:30. And so I put in like 30 miles last night. And I'm just like, I'm so tired right now. Like, I'm so tired. Coffee is not helping. All right, let's go. Starting with our right. 1, 2, ready, go. Halfway. Two more. Last one. Very nice. Oh, come on. All right, left hand. 1, 2, ready, go. We're trying to not accent. All even strokes. Halfway there. One more. Nice. All right, let's go one more. Oh boy, let's try it. Let's try it. All right, here we go. Right hand. 1, 2, 2, ready. Even strokes. Halfway. Couple more. Last one. Very nice. There we go. Left hand. 1, 2. Halfway there. Last one. Okay. I like that one. Coffee. Oh, coffee.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So I've been practicing for many years, and to get everybody's always like faster hands, faster hands. I just feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like I can't get any faster. That was pretty much at my peak. If you went any faster, I don't know. And I'm just kind of frustrated that like I practice that every day to get faster. And I think I get it. Like most gigs don't require any of that stuff, but I don't know. It'd just be nice to do really fast single stroke.
Yeah, man, I've had that same frustration. And I've also had that frustration with teaching. Because you know, we hear, and Dave, maybe you can chime in too, but we you know, there's a lot of theories and a lot of concepts and all of this stuff on how to improve your hand speed and accuracy and all of that stuff. And you know, we see all these videos and all this stuff on Moeller technique and you know, all of this stuff, and none of that was working for me. The push pull thing none of that was working for me. It just was not working for me. But some of the things that do work for me is first of all, different rudiments. A lot of the stuff that we do in this, like with the flam exercises and all of that stuff, practicing on different surfaces, practicing on like a pillow, or doing these rudiments like on your floor tom. Still, I'm still terrible at doubles on my floor tom, but it just kind of helped me to even be able to do it like kind of this type of thing. Even like doubles, that same exercise, you know, that kind of thing really helped. It is what helps me even. But I guess I should say you can't overlook your sticking technique, right? But for me, the push pull thing, the Moeller thing, and like all that stuff is it's just not a concept. I would have to get with an actual teacher that teaches that exact stuff.
Those things are good for me for like endurance. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I could go faster than what we played, but that was close.
Right. And
I should be faster. I see Tommy Igo, and he's just like,
well, that's yeah, but
he's just using his fingers, right?
that's like a savant, like, you know, guy that's like, and you know, like, yeah, I don't know, have a normal conversation with that dude, and then let's come and, you know, it's like, that's why, you know, I don't know, like, but
media persona.
Yeah, exactly. Some of those things are, you know, well, Dave, what's your take on it? How do you get your students to play faster?
Well, for me, I don't have fast hands at all. My singles suck. That was also the limit pretty much for me of my speed. But the thing for me is like when we started out, the beginning of those exercises just now, I was doing like big full wrist strokes and trying to use that as a warm up to like really stretch out and get a full range of motion. But by the last one we were doing, what I had to do was convert and do fingers like this, you know, because there was no way I could have gone, you know, continuing to muscle out wrist strokes at that tempo. So what I did is just like, I admit that I have to switch to my fingers, and then I'm working on finger control at that point.
And, okay, and that's what I was going to ask, because like my right hand is more, I can go faster, like more of a French grip. And my left stays, I don't know what's that, like German.
Yeah.
Like so I have different hand grips basically.
That's also another reason. Jeffrey, I want to hear from you too, because you got really fast hands. But one of the things that I was talking to Gil Sharon one time, and he literally was like, look at your hands, just physically look, like if you have to sit in front of a mirror or if you have to look down at your hands, if one hand is like this and the other hand is like this, you're going to play lopsided, But whereas my teacher would always talk to me about, playing with this kind of flat wrist type of thing. And anyways, if one hand isn't working like the other hand, then it's going to sound off, or you're not going to be able to play efficiently the same way, So, but I like to look at like the guys who have incredibly perfect hands and their technique, like Dennis Chambers is a great example. Keith Carlock is a great example. Vinny obviously is a great example. Weckel's a great example. Steve Gadd, they all have the same technique. A lot of them have had the same teacher. And Thomas Pridgeon is a really great example. For all the gospel chops that play everything wrong, but they can still play everything fast, Thomas plays everything correct. And his technique, the way his hands move, like kind of this kind of motion, is fire, man. Jeffrey, what's your take?
Yeah, thanks, man. The camera makes it look fast. I just have it sped up. That's what it is. But other than that, but like what you were saying and what Dave was saying, just like switching back into like going, it's a really cool exercise going from full hand strokes to wrist strokes to finger strokes and going back and forth, kind of like that. So you know where your mechanics are. It's like he just passed away, Ralph Peterson, I believe. Yeah, he passed away. He's big into, he doesn't call it technique, he calls it mechanics, which makes a lot of sense to me because like your hands and you have joints and stuff. So it's pretty much like what Dave said. Like if you got to go into fingers, you go into fingers. But like what you said, what Gil Sharon says, definitely is really great. That's what I was doing right now, also just looking at my hands.
Yeah.
And when I look down, and I forget that my posture is bad, but looking down and make sure your hands are symmetrical. And I also like what we did. We started with our left hand, so you start with your weakest hand, or whatever your less dominant hand is, and that's your max. It's like when you do reps, your max rep is kind of like whatever that is, and then you find a goal from there. So what you can do is I don't do it myself. I'm saying this without even doing it, but just write down where your max speed is for your left hand. And then you try to and then your max speed for your right hand, and you try to you want to get your left hand up there or your weaker hand up there. Just start off with your weak hand every day and 1 BPM faster than what you could, or 5. And if you can't, slow it back down until you're comfortable. Because that's another thing. We don't want to do anything sloppy. You want to do it as accurate as possible, and that's your max speed. If you can't do it faster than the thing, but it sounds great, okay, you just start pushing from there little by little, not try to go max first and then go back down.
Yeah. Too, though, that we're kind of our own worst critics because I was just now doing that exercise. I was like, these guys are probably so bummed that this is pretty much my limit. I can go a little faster, but these guys are probably come on, man. This guy's and that's how my thinking is. But if you're doing it at that speed, it's pretty good, man. So Brian, what about you? How do you build up your speed?
I don't. No, I was just thinking I don't know who's the fastest hand. I used to watch double bass, runs of people, they would time it for a minute, whatever. But I'm actually trying to think about whoever does single stroke high speed runs around the kit. Cause I would figure usually it's a quick burst. It's if you timed it from beginning to end, it'd be a 3 or 5 second burst of blazing speed. But it's not like people are doing 30-second, minute-long single stroke runs around the kit. Yeah. I don't think it's sustainable, to be honest. I don't think human ability allows us to. We have to either rely on bounce,
right?
Or whatever. What were we just at for beats per minute at the high end?
That was I think that was 120.
So I just can't really imagine
triplets. Is that's
well, yeah. I think triplets kind of makes it harder too, just because it's triplets. But there's got to be some record holder out there for single stroke.
I think Mike Mangini from Dream Theater, he was pretty quick.
Man, what a trophy to have!
Yeah,
I live. I mean, that like when I started playing drums, that's why I started doing it. To
That's
just
what I'm in it for.
Well, if you seen Mike Mangini, they've got like slow motion stuff of him doing it, but it's pretty much it's not. He's definitely not doing any full strokes. It's all like they said, it's finger. So it's pretty much he does like this little twitch thing where he's like this, and he's just like, brr, brr.
yeah.
But he's practiced so much, and he's able to get a nice little rebound or a nice little whip from this little small motion that he gets a full sound out of it.
I'm not buying that.
The mics help also.
I'm not. Whoever gave him that credential is wrong. There's a million little kids out there that like you're gonna tell me that he's faster than Ron Bruner. He's faster than JD Beck or like Raghav. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. And like, come on.
Ron Bruner is crazy.
Mike Mitchell? You're going to tell me that
no,
Mike Mangini's faster than Mike Mitchell? Come on.
Mangini just cracks me up though. Mangini's like a comedian.
Drives me nuts, dude. I can't with that dude.
But like what you were saying, man, in terms of a long, sustained, fast single stroke roll, I personally still haven't seen anyone do that better than Buddy Rich, to be honest.
Well, exactly.
Single stroke roll for a long time, super fast.
Yeah. There's a dude on Instagram. I can't remember his name. Maybe you guys know him. He's like a full jazz drummer. He just plays in his room. Younger guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Grayson something.
Yes, that kid is like incredible. He'll play like note for note like Buddy Rich solos and like all that stuff. So okay, at the end of the day, I think for what we're all saying is technique. You can do all the other stuff like using bigger marching band sticks to practice. Practicing on different surfaces, getting your wrist and your finger technique going. All of that stuff, but at the end of the day, you're putting in the work. You're practicing, and I like to get to that speed and a little bit faster. I didn't really just go, okay, I'm going to practice this only. With other like warm ups, other techniques, other stuff like that, it kind of came with the work. You know what I mean? So practicing that Swiss triplet. Flam tap thing, Swiss triplet, flam tap, Swiss triplet, flam tap. That it's like those kind of rudiments that helped me with my stick control to get to where now I have to use my fingers and my wrists to work together, and then I could thus get faster. But put me on a drum solo or something and I have to do some crazy fast, powerful Dennis Chambers lick. It's not that great, man. It's like a burst of energy, like a sprint, but it's not like I'm going to Mike Mangini a 10-minute, 30-second note at 200 BPM solo.
I think the answer is to drink water, stay hydrated, and just
breathe.
That's the answer. Get a pit board. You need like a pit board out there. Breathe.
Yeah, dude, breathe. So yeah, man, it's like I said, it's a pretty medium fast tempo. It's not marching band tempo, but it's for kit drummers, that's a pretty solid tempo to be at. And so to think that we're playing it too slow, it's not realistic. It's not practical.
Corey, you have a whole market that's untapped, like Ryan Hughes. You could be like the Corey of drum training. You got like a whole supplement line and training.
Oh gosh, dude. Oh man, that would be funny. He's out of his mind though. That guy is crazy. We're talking motocross again, guys. Keep up. Just kidding.
It always makes sense.
All right, here's a new one today. This one's a little bit difficult. It took me a little while to kind of get it. So here's the basic idea. So we're just going to do 2 bars of diddles, and then we start this exercise, this thing. So it's you have to follow the reading, follow the chart to really get it. But it's paradiddles, single paradiddles, then it's paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle. Then you repeat that with your left. Paradiddle, 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 or paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle with the accents. All right, then you move on. Now we're doing that paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle. And then we go back to paradiddles for 2 bars. And it's all right hand lead. on the first note. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. And then this is that hard thing that we were doing on Wednesday. Paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. And then we stop. So we're supposed to repeat. This is showing that we, I guess, repeat the whole thing. So that's why I like this one, because then we go. So basically, we start with the diddles. We do the same exact exercise: paradiddles, paradiddle diddles, paradiddle diddles, paradiddles. Then paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Then we do our doubles again, and then that loops us back around. So let's just get through it once here first. We'll not do this repeat here. We'll just end it on here. I'm not trying to get in my own head, but most likely I'm going to screw this up. So I'm going to do eighth notes here. Yeah. Dig it. All right, so let's start with 2 bars of diddles at the top. 1, 2, ready, go. Here we go. Left, Now to paradiddles for 2 bars. And moving on. Who made it? Anybody make it? No? A little bit? This is a difficult one. Just to sight read. For the first time, this is a difficult one. I would not be able to sight read this on my own. That's how bad my reading is.
The metronome made it.
Yeah, so I can turn off the metronome. We can try it together if you want, but
No, I'm just saying the metronome made it. We didn't make it. I didn't make it.
Yeah, so once I get to I'm kind of used to this that kind of that I'm used to that thing. But this one is what throws me off. This paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, and then 3 paradiddles is just it's weird. It's bizarre. Let's try it. Just try to read it one time without like the last repeat again. And I'm gonna slow it down even more. 70. All right. So let's try to read it down and end on that left right here. Not repeating. Okay, here we go. Starting with the diddles, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, here we go. Left. Paradiddles, paradiddle. Again, 1. Moving on. I messed up the end. I told you. Let's try it again. 1, starting with the diddles. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, paradiddles, go. Paradiddles. Somehow I got off. Paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. There we go. So, there we go. That last line is what gets me every time. It's so hard to think. You know, again, Mike Dawson, trust the sticking. If I'm looking at the accents, it's messing me up. But if I'm playing the accents at the beginning of each rudiment and just trusting that sticking, then it's great. And then for some reason, 3 at the end here is messing me up. Fun exercise though. At tempo, it's really cool. Let's officially do the continuous one on Friday. And like, I'll try to remember to post this right after, in the chat so that we can, you guys can work on it if you'd like. All right, let's just do it once through, one more time. Let's do it a little bit faster. It gets a little bit easier. Once you get the idea, the concept, it gets a little easier, to play it like at a faster tempo. By the way, this is from the Zildjian warm up. This is level 2 warm up. Paradiddle chop out. This is from Nicole Casino. You should see how there's a video accompaniment on Zildjian. You should see her starting tempo. It's like 160 or something. It's so stupid. I could not play it with her like that. My brain just was not computing. So. All right. So shout out to Zildjian and Nicole Casino for this amazing warm up. All right. Starting with diddles at the top. 1, 2, ready, go. Here we go. Hey, we got it. Very cool. Taking this thing, this is what we were doing Wednesday, guys. If you were here Wednesday, we were taking this portion only up to this last paradiddle, I think. No, up to here. Paradiddle diddle, I think. And using that, so I have pads on my drums, but we were using that as our drum fill. So let me take this down. Basically, all it is just paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle. We were playing those accents. That was our warm up on Monday. And so then we can take that and build our chop out of that. So I was just using my cymbals as the accents, and that turns into a really cool, like jazzy kind of drum fill. So yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I love that. Or you can do it on the toms. It sounds better when you have no pads on your drum. But. All right, so I think Brennan, this is one that you could even you probably already got it, but some of my other like intermediate students were taking this one and using it, playing it. So it's just paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Now, there we go again. It's one of those, hey, hold on, what was that? Yeah, you know?
It sounds great. You were actually going in from, it sounded like you were you were speeding up, but it also sounded like you were going into like different subdivisions.
Oh yeah.
That sounded really good. Like just the same pattern, but going to the subdivisions and back and forth, and the accents going in different places.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I was totally doing that on purpose. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it sounded great. That little snippet sounded really great.
I wish that's what I was actually doing. I was
But instinctual. That's why we practice this stuff, is because it's we don't have to think about it.
Yeah, whatever. I love those kind of things, man. That's like it's like something so simple that my brain never thinks about. Like what if you did every other one, and then it just happens to like switch your hands. Yeah.
The thing that you were just doing back and forth, what Jeff was commenting on, I was really impressed with the way it sounded. I also like the way those cymbals sound, but it almost sounded like the tempo was changing during it, like the tempo was breathing. And I'm like, when I do that, people normally think I'm off time, but really I'm just doing a tempo exercise.
Yeah. Well, I was speeding it up just to show you a different tempo, but it looks cool too, I think.
That's a very Dennis Chamber thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't write it out though. I got to figure out how to write it out because I want to natify that too and make that one of our warm-ups. So like we were talking about on Monday and doing and diddling. Yeah, anyways, you know what I mean. But I have to I'm really bad at writing in like odd times. So I started doing it last night and I was just like, I can't wrap my head around this after a 30-mile bike ride and it's already 10 o'clock. So
you can just keep it in 4 or 2. You don't have to like, if it crosses the bar line, it crosses the bar line.
Yeah. That like this one is in 4. But like this one, yeah. So like this one is in 4, but then it would cross over. I don't know how many measures it would take to get to.
Write it in 5 because it's 10 notes total.
In 5.
It's in 5.
Okay, so that could be my first problem is I was trying to write it in 7. But okay, so in 5, and then or it would be what 5 bars till it lands on 1. So I think you could do it that way too. I'll try to mess with it and write it and maybe have it by Friday so we can natify just this part.
I like what Brian said about the metric modulation. So when someone complains that we're dragging, we're just manipulating time.
Yeah. It's
Never
jazz,
drag.
man. It's jazz. It's progressive jazz.
It's not to understand what I'm doing with the tempo right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's too complex for you, man.
We just need shirts that say "Stay with me."
Oh man, I had this. Oops, sorry. It's funny that we were talking about Mike Mangini. So on my podcast for a while, I had this vendetta against Mike Mangini. I don't know. He's not an easy guy to like. You know what I mean? Like I don't know him. I don't. And obviously he's a way better drummer than me and way more accomplished and all of that stuff. But now I've kind of grown to like him. I think he's great. But on my podcast, I was super like I just thought he was the biggest douche ever, And then so I was having this problem with Zildjian, and I ordered a ride from them, and I couldn't. It was like on back order or something, and so I couldn't get it, and I was super mad. It was like a few months, and so the vendetta on my podcast was like, I'm sure if I was Mike Mangini, it would have already been at my doorstep within a couple hours, but like since it's me, 2 months later, I'm still sitting here waiting. And like like Phil, my buddy Phil is just like dying laughing, like, why do you hate Mike Mangini? And I'm like, I'm just saying, you know, like
That's so funny because I remember I didn't even know who Mike Mangini was until I saw the Dream Theater tryouts when they were like auditioning. Yeah. And I forget who they like Thomas Lang was like one of them. And I did not want Mike Mangini to get it. I was like, I didn't think he was
the best one.
And they loved him. And his Boston accent it's I don't even know if it's Boston, it's somewhere in Mass. I'm like it doesn't sound like, but I like him now. I went through that whole thing of like, no, not Mike Mangini. Who is
Yeah. I thought Virgil Donati was probably the pick. And like or Thomas Lang killed it too.
He killed it, yeah.
Virgil would have been the dude to choose on that right. thing. And like I couldn't believe they were like they already had their mind made up before it even started, you know.
They would have had to
when he walked in, hadn't he already played in the singer's old band or something too?
That's probably what it was.
He had the end. Politics.
If they picked Virgil, they would have had the band would have had to step up.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. It was like this was too easy for him. They had that, didn't they have like a Latin guy too that was like he was really good or something like they were from Brazil or something and he was
I forget his name, but a Brazilian cat.
Yeah, he was really good too. Or I was impressed with him. I just thought like Thomas Lang, Virgil Donati like hit it so far out of the park that I was like, I don't know how you couldn't go with those guys. And then I was just like this guy like, but he kills it. He's good. Whatever.
I think those guys got their own thing going on, though. It's like, didn't Les Claypool, he tried out for Metallica, and I think James Hetfield just said, dude, you got your own thing going. Like, it's not that he sucked or anything. It was just, they wasn't Metallica, right? Like,
right.
So I think
I loved on that thing. That was a really cool thing they did, but it was pretty TV-ish, you know, but I like that Virgil was like, well, just let me see the chart, like the actual like music, like not even the drum chart. Let me see the piano chart or whatever. And they're like, this is easy for you. And he's just like, yeah, I got to just completely nailed. Like it was so crazy. I mean, that dude's insane, man.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, we all know this. If you've ever played with other people, it's like your musical chemistry is important, but it's also like you're going to be spending time around these people. So you might pick somebody that's less talented if they have better chemistry, or you just like their personality because you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's all about the hang. The hang is very important.
Wasn't there a couple guys too that just could not even get through the song, or like it was like their interpretation was wrong, or they're missing bars and something, or was it? I can't remember. Was it like other dudes were just doing? Everybody seemed to do like pretty good. Like they're not calling a guy like me to play in Dream Theater, but like the guys they called are like Thomas Lang and Virgil and you know Mike Mangini is one of those guys. Marco Miniman.
Miniman, yeah.
He was another one where I was like, dude, this guy is like that is the guy that should play in Dream Theater. You know, like.
What was Mangini doing before Dream Theater?
Teaching. Berkeley.
And winning trophies for the fastest drummer in the world, dude. He just loves to talk about that. I'm the fastest drummer.
I think he first was on the scene, well, probably way before that, but like he was in Extreme.
He would be an Extreme, dude.
He's a really good drummer. I've seen this. He's really good.
He is really good.
Really good.
It's just the arrogance, I think, is what gets me.
That's a lot of drummers, though.
Maybe he is, but he doesn't come off that
surprising to me. I always thought he was a pretty nice guy. Like
I mean, maybe he is. It's just me.
I'm with you, Daryl. I think it's misinterpreted arrogance because he seems like a wicked down to earth Massachusetts.
I was just like, he was the only guy walking into that edition, kind of not. He was happy. He was just like, this is a great opportunity, and I literally used that for to show gratitude. Like he just seemed. I used that video for gratitude. Like, look at how happy he is. Who cares about the drumming? He just seems excited about the experience. Where the other guys, there was judgment on themselves, fear. And he was just kind of like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I'm so
But-
happy I get this.
But like, I also get it because he was, like I said, he was teaching in Berkeley, so he had an academic gig. All the other cats are, well, he's like great in his own right, but everybody else is like they're like a Buddy Rich style person. Thomas Lang is his own thing.
Right.
Who else? Like these guys are their own thing, their own brand and identity, and bringing it to Dream Theater is like, will it mesh well and stuff like that?
100% agree, man.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think I think, okay, so what started it for me was there was some clinic documentary where they went out in the forest and they did a drum clinic somewhere, and it's
That
like,
was in BC, yeah.
what is it?
It was in BC. It was
Yes.
Yeah. That was I was surprised.
Dennis Chambers.
At the Canadian.
Yeah. Dennis Chambers was on it, and
Horacio.
yes.
Giovanni. I know what DV you're talking about.
Yeah, and all the other guys were just like super cool, and I just felt like this Mike was so douchey, like just like, well, I hold the record as the fastest drummer in the world, and I'm like, bro, you're playing a clinic with Dennis Chambers. Get out of my face with that. You know you're not the fastest. You don't have to keep telling people that, and like, just prove it. Just play it, and like your little quick bursts around the toms isn't doing much for me, man. I've seen Simon Phillips do that for like years. I've seen Marvin Smitty Smith play stuff like that for years, and like I've Steve Smith play stuff like that for years. Stop saying you're the fastest. Why do you even want to be the fastest? What does that even mean?
If I take anything away from this hour, I feel great right where I am with my speed. I accept myself. I accept my singles.
This is people who know me know this is my soapbox. Okay, this is like, it's all in fun. It's just a rant about with banter. It's not like my real feelings. I actually think Mike Mangini is a wonderful drummer, and obviously he deserves all the accolades and credentials that he has. Even the fastest drummer trophy. Somebody's got to have the title, so he can have it. I still think there's a lot. I can name you 10 drummers that are probably faster than him and can hold it.
We should do, not that you're saying this, but it's just popped in my head. We should do a who's your favorite and least favorite drummer.
Man. I do have some least favorite drummers, but I don't like
yeah, it's too negative.
I like to respect everybody, but there are some drummers where I'm just like, bro, you are not a good drummer.
Well, I think it's all right to, if you're not being insulting and stuff, I think it's okay to recognize it's more of like a style of playing. Maybe it's a style of music or style of personality that doesn't jive with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not into saying negative stuff about people, but I hear some stuff like my buddy will put music on and I'm like, he's all into it. He's like, yeah, listen to those drums because he knows I'm a drummer, and I'm like, I don't like it's not good drumming to me. It's like
I've been very vocal about Meg White, like in the past. I've been like, she's because my wife was just like, oh, she's so great, and I'm like, she's literally like the worst drummer I've ever heard. Like, give me any one of my beginner students, and I can have them ready for the White Stripes show tonight. Like
right, and that's the funny thing. It's like the White Stripes just had the sound, and having a female drummer's a thing, and like whatever, she did it. She did better than I'll ever do. But I feel you. I mean, it's just,
I remember telling my wife, like, if give me one day, like take lessons with me for one day, and I can have you playing better than Meg White. And she's just like, it doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. And that was the point. I was missing the point that that's their sound. You can't have a great drummer in that band, or else it loses that
right
thing. It loses time.
I think about that with like Metallica, like if
another one that I've talked about.
If they lost Lars in the Master of Puppets tour instead of Cliff, and then they put in some like crazy drummer, I don't even think Metallica would have ever made it to where they did, because
So there's this other story like that my dad tells all the time, that it's so my dad's a jazz singer now. When I was a kid though, he was full on rock, like full on. He played in a metal band called Black Stone Edge, and
Nice.
and his drummer, this is before Metallica, was Lars, and he was like, yeah, you know, he was a nice Canadian kid, very soft spoken, but he had mix match drums like that he got like from a pawn shop, and he was just a terrible drummer, and they had to fire him. He's like, I literally fired one of the most popular drummers, one of the most famous drummers of all time before he was famous. And then Lars got fired from that band and then got in Metallica. And then they said that they had my mom was pregnant with me, and then so they had a battle of the bands, and something happened where they couldn't make it, and then Metallica got their place. Boom. Rest is history.
Wow.
So your dad hates Lars Ulrich just as much as you hate Mike Mancini.
I think so. He said he was the nicest kid ever, but he was just like, you know, he just couldn't really keep good time, and like nothing's really changed. But no, I don't hate Mike Mangini. I think he's a wonderful drummer. All things, like in all seriousness, I think he's fantastic. I don't even deserve a place to say or judge somebody like Mike Mangini, but and then Lars is laughing all the way to the bank. So
Well, the thing that sticks out to me about what's her face, White, and Lars Ulrich is where there's no way in hell that they haven't heard the hate.
Mhm.
Like, you get up there every night and own that spot. That blows me away.
It probably fuels them also. Like this thing, like when you get a reaction from somebody, it's better to get a reaction than someone being empathetic or like, whatever. They forget about you.
And also, do you think that Meg White is really trying to be like a great drummer? And also, by the way, laughing all the way to the bank. You know, like
she's like, I'm a rock drummer.
That's an incredible value. Like that, I would love to. Because if somebody writes anything, like actually, it's funny because today I decided I'm getting off Facebook. Like I have to just get off.
I did that.
But it's funny though. It's just like one little comment, and I'll just be like, "What the hell?"
I know.
Like the picture, what Nickelback, Lars Ulrich. They probably hear that crap all day long, and yet they're just like, "Yeah, man, let's go rock."
Yeah.
Incredible. To
Oh
me,
man,
awesome.
I agree with you, and I'm the exact same way, man. I can get 100 positive things and then one negative, and I'm just like, I'm giving up. I'm shutting it down. I'm done. But yeah, man, Daryl, dude, you're a fantastic drummer. You got a great sound, and yeah, man, you got to keep doing it. Do it for you. Do it for the brigade. you're carrying the brigade flag up there in Canada, and you're owning it and killing it. And yeah, man. So
someone's got to represent Canada. It just can't be Lars.
I know.
I thought he was Dutch Canadian.
Oh yeah, right.
I think so, like that.
I'm a terrible drummer, but I have a good time doing it, so I don't care.
Yeah. The haters are gonna always hate, especially when you're doing something right. You know, I always say, like, when you how do you know you're doing something right when some people are telling you you're doing it wrong? You know, and if you're creating art and you're not doing what everybody else wants you to do, if you're doing what everybody else wants you to do, then you're a hack. You know, and that's fine too. Some people make a solid living like that, but you don't strike me as that. You have a look, you have a vibe, you have a style of playing, and there's always room for improvement on all of everyone on this Zoom meeting. Everyone is here to improve, you know, or to start their day to, you know. So yeah, man, the difference between you and the haters is you're working towards fulfilling your goals, and you're working towards improving. And those haters are sitting on a computer chiming in and saying this guy sucks, which is lame. So they can go and not improve and be stupid and negative.
Well, you know, it's funny. The people that are doing it typically don't spew any hate. You know, like they don't have time to concern themselves with like, you know, talking bad about other people because they're too focused on their own stuff.
Right.
Not that we're not hating. I mean, I think we're just having a good time joking around, talking drums, and you know, it's like,
Yeah, man. It's okay. It's just like your favorite athlete. Some people like these are the most gifted athletes, like your favorite basketball player, the best basketball players in the world in the NBA. But then there's some guys that are just like, that dude sucks. And they're like spewing all this hate towards them. Where I'm like, this dude's in the NBA. He's like one of the best in the world.
yeah, but LeBron's got nothing on MJ.
That's what I mean. And so it's like, dude, it's people's different flavors for different people. And like, you know, people don't realize the amount of work that goes into being a professional at whatever you do, you know? And so, for us as drummers, man, we take it to heart, but it's, you know, this is something that we all go through, and, something that I wish, you know, we could change in our drum industry, but it's always going to be there. But that's why it's kind of up to us to have a cool space like this where that doesn't really exist. It doesn't matter, you know, so
We're all doing our best.
exactly. All right, guys. So, great chops and coffee today. And, we will pick it up again on Friday. Everyone's streaming with us live. Thank you guys. And if you want to join Chops and Coffee, you know what to do. Just hit the link on drumbrigade.com. Patreon lessons, $5 a month, $1.25 a week. And you can get some drum lessons going. All right. So anybody, we're trying to reach 1,000 students. And so every month, 1,000. So we're that's a goal. It's an ambitious goal, but if you guys want to help us do that, just click that link in the description. All right, guys. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I'll see you guys on Friday.
Here, guys.
Good morning.